everybody is convinced, everybody can see and touch that the world we are living in is transforming rapidly. Now, this world never ceased to transform, but the pace of changes and disruptions is such that sometimes we do not have the time to adapt to this. So we're living this as disruptions. In addition to this, it just happened that we live in a region where these transformations induced by technology are empowering such new behaviors, enabling such changes on top of leadership that has taken, placing. You see several countries, the UAE has been at the forefront of that, but other countries in the GCC now are going into this huge transformation. So this combination is creating this perfect storm from a positive point of view. I believe that the combination of the right leadership, willingness, the capabilities that technology is now offering, and the presence, availability of talent, young talent, because this region as well is quite young. And they are now, pushed to break the boundaries, that go out of the box and innovate and be creative. And I think that is a fundamental change. I can hear all these buzzwords, if you allow me, that everybody now is. And a lot, when you talk to people, they tell you, but things are getting complicated because you have Internet of Things, you have machine to machine, you have cloud, you have now 5G, you have big data, you have blockchain, you have artificial intelligence. So all this is floating. And if you go out of the experts in that or that subject, I think there is a need to maybe telling the story, this narrative in a simple way. Simply, in my opinion, it presents like that. Everything around us is going to be sensing. So everything we touch will be able to sense and to send a data. From things that we are wearing, or even things that are injected in our body that could have extremely helpful use in medical application, in helping us to be better to our well-being, to everything we touch in our home, the fridge, the window, the door, etc., to things that we have in our streets, the street light, etc., etc., etc. So imagine everything sensing. And we're talking hundreds of millions of these sensors. This is the Internet of Things. This is even the machine to machine, because machines will be talking to other machines, not necessarily, sending this to humans. Now, once everything is sensing, everything is connected. Here you have things like the 5G. Here you have once it is connected, it is aggregated. Here you have the big data. Here you have blockchain, if you have a distributed architecture. Once you have this aggregation, your data becomes information. And then everything becomes smart. You add intelligence to all this data that you collected. Here you have the data analytics, the real meaning of having big data. You can even have an extra layer of intelligence through artificial intelligence capabilities, the ability to predict, the ability, etc., etc. So the combination, that ecosystem is making all these things fundamental. Some of them are probably very visible. when it comes to an Internet of Things, when it comes to AI, when it comes to intelligent robots. We can see it, we can feel how much this can disrupt things around us. And to tell you the truth, you can even sense that some people have some concerns or anxiety. This is why we need to explain how important this is, how this technology can help, how smart cities will enable a better life. And by the way, when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum launched the concept of Smart Dubai, he did not speak only about the smartest city. He said the smartest and happiest city. So with all these buzzwords that are brought to us by technology, there is a fundamental part of the conversation that need to happen, which is, it's not only technology for the sake of technology. It's not only what technology tells us this is possible. It's about what society says this is desirable, what human is saying this is good for societies. Generally speaking, every time there has been disruptions induced by technology, from the Industrial Revolution, societies, humankind adapted. Maybe this time, the fact that I was mentioning previously, that the changes and the disruptions are so rapid, maybe it will be difficult to adapt at the same pace. So it's fundamental that we bring all the stakeholders together. We establish the headlines of these new conversations. I'm not sure that we have all the headlines lined up. We have all the questions. We have all the framing that has been done in this conversation between technology, economy, and society. So we create these platforms for conversations, and you need to have international organizations. You need to have decision makers. You need to have policy makers around that. You need to have industrial players. You need to have the young men and women who are, making all these changes and disruption theirs and coming with ideas and all these new experience applications that are changing our lives. You need to involve them. You need to bring them all together. And is there a recipe? I'm asked sometimes. I think we need to open our eyes. We need to open our minds. Keep an open mind to accept some changes, not to resist these changes. Yes, there will be jobs lost, autonomous cars, etc. There will be jobs that will be created by this new technology. Is it a zero-sum game? Nobody knows. Probably not. But I believe that there is so much that we can make with technology. I've been always an optimistic about how what this can bring.